I was recently in the library of a Christian college here in Tennessee, and one of the original founders of the college was also a preacher, and it had his Bible there and glasses and a suit that he used to preach in, and it said that he preached this one sermon over 2,000 times, the same sermon. Now, in the political realm, that's called a stump speech. I used to preach a lot in various churches, and I had several stump speeches that I would give, texts from the Bible that I would use, and deliver a similar sermon or a similar speech repeatedly. It's very common, all right? President Reagan did it, President Obama does it. When President Obama was in Nevada at that school recently, it was almost the exact same speech he had done on the night before on television, okay? It's common. Well, Jonathan Gruber, the man who said that American voters were stupid, the man that said that having things go on secretly and confusing people in the bill was necessary to get the Obamacare bill to pass, the Affordable Health Care Act, he had a stump speech that he gave over and over and over again in various settings after Obamacare became law. And we would like to play for you a little montage of that stump speech. Notice, different suits, different venues, same speech.
If you had a law which said healthy people are going to pay in, it made explicit that healthy people pay in and sick people get money, it would not have passed. Okay? Just like the people, lack of transparency is a huge political advantage. And basically, call it the stupidity of the American voter or whatever. We said, well, that's pretty much the same thing, but why does it matter? I said, you'll see. And they were posted and that passed. Because the American voter is too stupid to understand the difference.
And John Kerry said, no, we're going to tax your health insurance. We're going to tax those evil insurance companies. We're going to impose a tax that if they sell health insurance that's too expensive, we're going to tax them. And conveniently, the tax rate will happen to be the marginal tax rate under the income tax code. So basically, it's the same thing. We just tax the insurance companies. They pass it on higher prices. That offsets the tax break we get. It ends up being the same thing. It's a very clever, basic exploitation of the lack of economic understanding of the American voter.
So, we stupid people are indebted to Mr. Gruber for deceiving us, for having secrecy, for convoluting the bill. Now, President Obama is feigning outrage, even though they paid this man large sums of money and he personally met with President Obama. Vermont is now asking for $200,000 that it gave to Gruber to be returned, which is funny, because he said that people were stupid. It's not that they didn't like his work, it's that they didn't like him telling the truth publicly in the way that he did. But if I could go just a step further and touch the third rail, if you will, politically, ethically. If I'm sick, do I have the right to put a gun to your head, to force you, to compel you to pay for my medical needs? Do I have the right to literally compel you, whether you want to or not, to pay for my medical needs? If the answer is no, then our entire governmental structure that is taking money from some people and giving it to others for their medical needs is at its heart unethical. In Matthew chapter 25, the readings in many of our churches this past weekend talked about what it meant to serve Christ. He said, I was sick, you visited me, you ministered to my needs. Okay? So clearly ministering to the needs of the sick is a part of our Christian duty. The question is, can we use government to compel people to Christian duty? Or is that a violation of the separation of church and state? I have been a leader in the pro-life movement for 30 years. And sadly, we have not prevailed in our goal to make it a criminal act to kill an unborn baby. There's reasons why we have failed. I wrote this book, A Humble Plea, to Catholic bishops, to evangelical clergy, and to lay people, explaining where we went wrong and what we have to do to prevail. We've made this available as a PDF online for free. I encourage you to go and download your own copy. We have put together what we call an online university for you. Now that's a highfalutin way of saying that we have a pretty significant library of material, books, tapes, videos that are there for you for free. Why are we doing this? Because America is desperate for new leaders, and because this material could help you to become the leader that you and God want you to be. Check it out and enjoy it.